Hey, hi there, Cammie. Welcome to my channel. So, with all my adventuring I do, there's equipment. And one of the most important pieces of equipment I own is my bike. I do a lot of riding, bike packing, adventure riding, and I put a few thousand miles on it every year. So it's really important for me to make sure it gets proper maintenance. So my local bike shop called me up and said, hey, we're offering this free basic maintenance class at the shop. And I'm like, heck yeah, I'm on my way. So here I am at Einstein Cycles here in Cadillac, Michigan, and I am going to ask Ezra to explain exactly what they're offering.
So what we're going to be going over is just basic safety checks over your bicycle. You know, say you take it on the back of a vehicle for a long distance, or you're just getting it out for the season. I'm going to just show you what to check for to make sure that bike is safe to ride and will work for you. And if you're going to might need to bring it into the shop for some further repair or anything like that.
So this is one of my favorite places to hang out. The guys that work here, gosh, I've known them for years, and they've taken such good care of me and my bikes. And sometimes I just come down and hang out and have coffee with them and just catch up. So I want to show you around a little bit. That's Alan.
Hi, Cameras.
Alan. These here, this is like my choice type of bike right here. Fat tire bikes, that's what I own. I have two. I have a Specialized, and my favorite one is the Bear Claw Frank. That is my machine. I go anywhere with. But as you can see, they have a nice full line of gravel bikes, mountain bikes, road bikes, and the fat tire bikes. I think you guys have e-bikes too, don't you, Alan? And they have e-bikes. It's just a really awesome, cool shop. I love how they just have everything set up, the color scheme. I mean, oh, look at those cool bags. Look at these cool bags. Look at these, colorful. Cool. Man, I might have to get a new frame bag just because I can get something in a fun color. Mine is all black. Yeah, this is Einstein Cycle, and great place, great bike shop, great mechanics, great customer service, the whole kit and caboodle.
All right, so what we covered this week is I basically went through a safety check on a bicycle to make sure that it is safe to ride. Say you went on a vacation, you took it on the road for a distance, you get off, and you just want to make sure that that bike traveled the whole way, make sure everything's tight. We basically started with the front of the bike, made sure your controls up here were all tight, lined up, everything was there, nothing was loose. Moved down to the crankset, made sure crank arms, pedals, and everything were tight, no looseness in the bottom bracket, onto the seat, all the way back to the rear wheel. Just make sure everything is good and your bike is safe to ride.
Okay, thank you, Ezra. Wow, that was really a fun class, and I actually did learn something new. So that's always a bonus when you can go somewhere and learn something new. I've been an avid biker for a long time, and I've taken lots of classes and stuff, and taught, you know, and been taught a lot of safety and basic maintenance and all that. And then I coached my girls' fat bike team, so you know, I coached my girls to learn how to do basic maintenance and safety checks on their bikes. So a lot of it I already do. You know, my adventure equipment is very important to me, and I ask a lot out of my equipment, and especially my bike. I own a Bear Claw titanium Frank. It's a fat bike, and it's specifically built for bike packing. And so, and I also bought a bike that I knew that I wanted to be able to trust and depend on to do the type of biking that I like to do, which is pretty rugged. I like to be able to go off the beaten path and be able to get through and bike through whatever basically comes my way. And so I depend and ask a lot out of my bike. And so in exchange for that, I take very good care of my bike. I always make sure it stays clean. And I do my safety checks. I take it into my bike shop at least once a year for a safety inspection and a tune-up. And then I keep track of how many miles I put on my bike, as you know, and check the chain wear and the tire tread, and the brake pads, you know, all that stuff. You just have to be aware of and keep track, and keeping track of my mileage I put on my gear really helps me a lot. So I know, oh, it looks like I'm getting to this many miles. I better do a chain check, you know, to make sure my chain isn't wearing out. And I take it in, you know, I'm always aware of my brake pads. If they start feeling a little off, I take it in. And there's been a few times I've taken my bike into the bike shop for one problem, and they know me really well and know how I ride, so they just automatically check other things. And sure enough, this last time I took my bike in to get, a new chain. I need a new chain. So I took it in, and when I get a new chain, I got to make sure my cassette and my front ring is okay, you know, because sometimes if you let your chain go too long, then wear those suckers out, and that's expensive. And I've done that. And so I took it in for a new chain replacement and get that stuff checked out. And they just happened to check my brake pads while they had my bike. And oh my gosh, my front pads were like almost gone, and my rear pads were pretty bad. And thank goodness, because I had a big biking adventure planned, and that would suck if I would have been out in the middle of, you know, or out biking, going down some big hill, and here we are, my brakes are like gone. So it's just critical when you have equipment that you expect a lot out of, that you depend on, then you have to go through the process and make a commitment to do your safety checks and to get regular maintenance. So I'm really thrilled that they're offering this class to our community at a very small fee. And next week, I think, as said, that we're going to be covering rear derailleurs, which I really have zero experience with, and that's something that can go wrong pretty easily out in the wild, biking like I do. Anyway, so next week we're going to learn about rear derailleur adjustments, and I think how to replace a rear derailleur hanger. And along with that, I think he said rear derailleur and something else that he's going to cover next week. Maybe it's spokes, how to replace a broken spoke. So anyway, I'm super excited that they're doing this, and I'm going to make it a point to go to these classes. So I encourage you to do safety checks on your bike. Make it a habit, and support your local bike shop by taking your bike in there and letting the professionals do what they're the professionals at. But it's always a good idea to learn the basic maintenance, that you can easily take care of yourself. And then the really more complex issues, that's what the bike shop is there for. So anyway, it was fun hanging out with the guys, hanging out at the bike shop. Met two new biker guys I've never met before. So, there's always that community connection too when you go to these things and get to know other people in the biking community where you live. So that's fun. So anyway, I'm glad you watched, and I inspire you to get out and get that bike checked and get it ready to rock and roll for your next adventure.